Hey guys, what's up? Lone Berserker here, and this is going to be another DEI campaign battle. This is taking place in Bithynia. I'm fighting against Sinope as Pontus. So far, I have dominated Asia Minor for the most part. I have almost all of Galatia and Cappadocia, almost all of my province. The last city I need is Nicomedia, and before this, I just had a failed assault on the city, which cost the lives of 400 of my valiant soldiers. So now we're going to be fighting outside the city against Sinope. I am heavily outnumbered, actually, and outmatched pretty heavily, I would say. So I guess I'll just go through my army. I've got six Sparabara, 3 Galatian swords, my general, 3 Galatian Cav, and 1 Paphlagonian. Then I've got 3 Slingers and 1 Pontic Spear, just cheap spearmen. If this army is very bad unless it has all of its units. Now my armies no longer look like this. We are pretty ahead in the campaign. I'll obviously be doing more cooler battles in the future. However, for right now, guys, I really haven't had any big battles at all. My military career is basically based off opportunism when waiting for my for people to just battle it out, and then I swoop in like a vulture. And I know obviously a lot of people don't like that style. However, right now, right now, I mean at the time of this replay, I did have to use it quite a bit because my enemies were so superior to me. But now I don't have to, and we will see some epic battles in Scythia following, and we also have some cool battles in Italy, as my friend Massamax is taking over the Italian peninsula. I am expanding up north into Scythia. So right now we got this battle here against this massive Sinopian force. I didn't want to fight this, but I couldn't retreat, and my armies got separated. So I wasn't very confident. The one unit I do have that outmatches every Asian unit so far is the Sparabara unit. Basically, it's got 5 arrows, and then it pulls out a spear. It's so freaking good. It crushes Cav, and you can see my enemy is outflanking me. I did see that, by the way, but I just waited. So basically, the power behind this unit is the arrow. So before you engage, you get shot, and if you want to disengage, you get shot. So it's so effective at just repelling infantry and cav. Now the only thing is if it goes up against any of these like Galatian swords right here or Pontic Hoplites, it will be rolled over. They're very weak against sword infantry, but they can carry their own, and having the 5 arrows is so flippin' useful. So this does take a little bit for my opponent to get up this hill. I mean, he did have to walk all the way up this hill to attack me. So the rule we have is if you're attacker, you attack the player, and then if you're the defender, you defend. Here comes the Cav. I was hoping to ambush him here with javelins. It almost worked out, but my guys didn't line up fast enough. Oh, maybe I will get him with jabs. Yeah, I will. Just a few, though. Not many. So I got my Galatians and other horses getting into position, getting ready to fight against his. Now, I did have a plan. I am speeding up, by the way, so you don't have to watch and wait. There is some skirmishing going on. I did catch the Paphlagonians for a little bit, but he got away. I wanted an engagement very quickly, but he had very good skirmish cav. This is skirmish cav that can fight and in melee and in the skirmish form. I'm turning this down. I swear it the volume changes. I don't know what the heck it is. So basically, I noticed that he had his I know the Pontic roster and the Asiatic units pretty well. I noticed he had those Pontic spearmen on the left matched up with his peltist, and I realized that if he sets that flank up, that's a lot of javelins and very deadly. So, and I also realized that it's his weakest, because he's got his Phrygian axemen on the left, and he's got his Pontic hoplites in the middle. So if I can smash the right with my Galatians, I can possibly turn this around into a rout. optimistic and ambitious, but I had to act ambitious in this battle. However, I knew my opponent was going to suffer getting up this hill because of the Sparabara, and I do retreat even further up it. So really not... And you can see I'm even reforming my entire line for a counterattack. I will speed it up just so you guys don't have to sit here and watch this crap of nothing happening. So, gets into position, and pretty soon here I am going to come rolling down this hill. So you can see my Sparabara... Okay, now you can't hear anything. Alright, if it's too loud, suck it up. So, he's coming up this hill, and he's just going to get bushwhacked by arrows, and that's the power of the Sparabara. You can see, backed up with the slingers, they are just going to rain arrows down on these guys. And, you know, they're sort of like an immortal type of unit. You know, like the historic Persian immortals. They're sort of like that. And I really like that, actually. So, coming down this hill, I'm not even going to throw javelins. I'm just going to go right into combat. I am going to get javelin to death, though, because these Galatians are so unarmored. That's fine, though. They do make up for it in their attack. Their overwhelming attack, actually. So I leave my rear undefended purposefully here. I'm going to swing my Sparabara this way and basically leave my slingers to attack. I don't really care about them. I knew I had to get my cav over here. I send Ariobarzanes in. He's my king, actually. He doesn't charge correctly there, which was bullcrap, but that's fine. He did hit the Thracian pelts and stop them. Like I said, this is going to happen. I don't really care, because now I do have him surrounded, so we'll take a lot of casualties there. He did engage sooner than I wanted him to, and I am losing... I'm not losing. I'm not doing too good against these Pontic units, which... If I could have silenced those pellets faster, I would have creamed them already, but it's fine. I will get into them with my Galatians. You can see I am inflicting some good casualties on these horses. It's just not enough. My guys aren't killing fast enough, which sucks when you don't have your own... when you're being beat by your own units, basically. Skirmishing threat is basically dealt with, although it already left a very flippin' painful sting on me. Now I have the impossible task of breaking his hoplites, which, as I said before, it's basically impossible. My units aren't even fighting correctly. So I am chasing down some of his other horses here. General is getting shot, but he'll turn around and kill that unit very quickly. No, the Galatians will. The general's getting out to hopefully charge these guys here. I am getting my Galatians quickly up this hill, but they're so light, and charging uphill is not efficient at all, but it'll be at least somewhat of a charge. Right in the rear of these Phrygians. So it'll do some damage, but you can see, like I said, the right flank kind of just dispersed after a little bit of combat. I am shooting at these guys with the Sparabara and my slingers, which get charged here, but I immediately go into melee mode and try and chase them. I do counterattack with the Phrygians. They're not going to last long, but if they can just do enough damage, I'll be happy. Galatians swinging back around. I gotta save my general because now he's exposed. My opponent does not charge him, which I was very surprised about. And now they also are exposed to getting surrounded here. Galatians coming in. Paphlagonians trying to help out. Like I said, I do surround this unit here. Main line is just a crappy freaking fight. I should have been retreating. I didn't even give my men an attack order, so that's how great they're doing. So they're basically not even fighting. They're just standing there. I do lose that unit, which really sucked, because now he's going to take a lot of damage from fleeing. I am still trying to get over here and break these guys, which are not back here. They're over here. I am trying to get my general up because he's taking a lot of casualties now. He's dropping way faster than I thought he would. Cavalry is now free to hammer and anvil my guys here, but I don't think they do it just yet. I do almost break these Galatians here. My cav kind of gets mismicroed there for a moment. I am trying to pull back, basically just to reform and catch his cav and kill them as quickly as possible, but it's looking literally impossible at this point. My Galatians, though, they are free, wounded, very wounded, but that's expected. They are Galatians. Trying to get my infantry lined up again. And I am chasing with my general, just inflicting as many casualties on these guys as I can. It's risky, but it's doable. I charge into these, this is a Phrygian spear unit. That's a crappy mercenary that you can get. My one cav unit that's very wounded is chasing these guys down here, trying to do some damage to them so they don't come back. Spear unit getting charged here, so they're basically out of the combat. I mean, they're into the combat, but they're gonna lose very quickly here fighting against Phrygian axes. Which, by the way, are filling my army right now. I do charge directly into Pontic Coblites. Yes, I know, I saw that, but I just wanted to do it. Just to hopefully have my cab do something, but they're just simply not strong enough. And you can see the borders are closing for me. General is trying to do something here, but there's nothing he can do really at this point. Literally just running around trying to get this big bulk of guys to break, but I also need these guys to break too so I can free up the rest of my Galatians. And now, it's not looking half bad. His units are breaking very quickly here, and this is coming down to the wire. I slow my general, and now he does kind of something I'm very surprised about. He charges my Galatians, but they were quite healthy, and I have all these support units around, and so I just go right into his cav units. And they are going to take a beating. A ton of casualties on these guys. I turn my Sparabar around to stop shooting and get into the fight over there, but attacking these guys does tie up my entire main force here of cav and stuff. And it leaves his Hoplites and Phrygian axes alive to just ravage the rest of my army. So yeah, his cav gets bushwhacked there, basically. But they take forever to die, and I was getting so frustrated that they just would not die. And I eventually take some units out of that fight. Because I am losing over here. Like, my flank is dying, but I still have quite a bit. He has a lot coming back that are using their javelins quite well here. And yeah, this was frustrating me. I was so mad that they would just not break. Finally, they drop to red morale completely and start wavering, but by that time, my units, the Sparabara don't have the staying power. They're good units, but like I said, under pressure, they don't do too well. General is in red morale. He's losing, so that's great. Tons of his units are coming back. Not a single one of mine has come back. They've all been either run down or broke completely off the field. General is... I think he dies right here. In a moment. I pull the rest of my cav out. So you can see it's not going to end well for me. I am defeated here in the fields of Bithynia. So I'm trying to get my guys back into position here, just to make a heroic sacrifice in a charge, because at this point I realized I was going to lose, and no matter what I did, my king was going to die. Which sucks. So now, the sad part is this would actually be my first king, but Mithridates I Christus died of natural causes at 61. So Ariobarzanes got put in his place, and Ariobarzanes was fairly young during the time of this battle. He also had 3 children, and 2 of them just became teens. The male died, sadly. He would have been the heir, but we had to adopt some random guy. So yeah, Ariobarzanes, he didn't get the time to prove himself. Sadly, I was looking forward to him being successful. I mean, he was in his own right, but Mithridates Christus had expanded the kingdom so far to its greatest extent. But a lot has changed since that last video I uploaded. And I will be doing a next 50 turns, I think. I did 40 for the first one, but I think I'll do 50 because we have done a lot. So guys, yeah, costly enemy victory. Sadly, on the fields of Bithynia, I was defeated. So, I mean, look at the army differences here. Now, given what I had, I think I did well. However, the slingers, compared to his peltas, they were never going to perform as well. And they were just, I didn't have the men to protect them, so I just let him encircle them. And he had sacrifices skirmishers, so you have to think about that. While I was throwing away my slingers, he also threw away his Thracian peltast. Now, I am just going to make a long story short. Right after this battle, a few turns later, I come back with 2 armies and take Nicomedia. So, Sinope is dead, all of Bithynia at Pontus is mine, most of Galatia is mine, and a lot of my territory has increased. I'm not going to spoil anything, we'll do that in another video. Yeah, you can see the stats here. Ariobarzanes is dead. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, the person that died in my family tree, Ariobarzanes' kid, was actually Mithridates II, which historically was the 3rd king of Pontus, and he would have been the 3rd king in my kingdom, but he freaking died as a kid, so the entire Mithridatic family tree got completely screwed up after that. Like, we were on the brink of distinction. This tyrant Plato here of Sinope ravaged Nicomedia and took it over, so we brutally made his army pay after this. Honestly, though, I don't think I could have won this battle. I lost 2 units attacking Bithynia, Nicomedia. Now, he lost a few units too, but the thing is those were garrison units. They weren't the main army. The plan was for Nicomedia, basically, is there was an army and a garrison. I was going to attack the city, the army was going to reinforce, I was going to kill the army, and then I was going to break into the city. But the army spawned on the opposite side of the city and got in. So by the time I was on the walls, the reinforcing army was in the city, so there was nothing for me to do. So it's basically all for right now, guys. I will do an update. We're pretty far into the campaign. We both have had our Thoraeus reforms. Thorax reforms I think are on turn 210 or 150. I don't freaking remember. I'm too tired. But yeah, I'll figure it out, and then yeah. But yeah, I will definitely do another campaign update video. Things are getting very spicy, to say the least. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.